Welcome back to the Bronx Journal. I'm your guest host, Desiree Mensah. There are a variety of radio stations in New York City, but if you've been looking for a station where you can listen to good African music, especially Ghanaian music, we have a radio programming we think you should know about. Today on the show, we have the CEO and President of Volta Power FM, Mr. Kofi Koranteng, to speak about the station he created. Mr. Koranteng, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little about your background, where you're from, and why you relocated to New York?
I'm Ghanaian. To start, I was born in Ghana many years ago. I'm not going to start dating myself, but many years ago, and I moved to New York over 20 years ago, actually. And I've been here working, doing different things. First, I came in. Actually, it was by accident that I came to New York. I came here from London to go to college. And then I got myself a job by accident. And I loved it so much, I didn't want to go back, and I stayed. And just, that's what happened.
Seems like you had a lot of mistakes.
It turned out to good things, though.
Good thing.
So I'm
what
thankful.
Inspired you to open up a radio station?
Actually, the reason why that came about, it was really supposed to be. It wasn't planned. Okay, I believe there's a lot of Ghanaian talent. There's a lot of African talent that's not being platformed. So I was inspired by that. And I got together with a couple of friends, and initially we thought, you know what, let's just create a platform for Ghanaian music and Ghanaian art, and it turned into a business, okay, because the timing was right, I guess, and it turned out to be something bigger than what we had expected. So it initially didn't start with a game plan to make money out of this thing, to make it a business, but it defaulted into that, so.
Why the Bronx out of the other boroughs?
Well, the Bronx, it's the most concentrated habitat for Ghanaians in the whole world outside of Ghana. So I figured Bronx would be a good place to start. And because of the fact that I live in the Bronx. So the dynamics with the Bronx as far as the culture, it's more robust. And I figured if there's any borough that will really get something out of this, it would be the Bronx more than anywhere else. So it was a good place to start, and that was just why we started in the Bronx.
Why the name Volta Power? What is the significance? What's behind the name Volta Power?
Volta, if you know anything about Ghana, Volta is River Volta runs through the whole of Ghana, and everyone. My thinking was, if you were born or if you were of Ghanaian descent, at some point in your life you have benefited from River Volta, because River Volta gives power. And I believe power is light. Light is the essence of life. So we named it Volta Power because of the significance of River Volta to all Ghanaians. And since light is the essence of life, we figured it would be a good place to start. I know a lot of people ask why Volta, because of course I'm not from the Volta region, but it really didn't matter. The reason why we named it Volta Power FM was because every Ghanaian at some point has benefited from the Volta, so we thought it would be a good place to start.
What is it about the Bronx that you feel fits into your radio station? What is it about the culture?
The Bronx is very diverse in its African population, African mix. And we wanted to start first making it a Ghanaian radio station, and at some point elevate it to an African radio station. And we figured since the Bronx was a melting pot for more robust, more diversified African pot than anywhere else in the world. You wouldn't even see this diverse of Africans in Africa than you would see in the Bronx, you know. So we figured it would be a good place to start.
What does Volta Power offer its listeners?
Well, the demographic that we work with, it's from 21 to about 55. And we give our listeners a wide variety of Ghanaian music to listen to, and also thought-provoking talk shows. We're not politically motivated, so we're not controlled by anyone. But it's a platform for people to come in there, religious as much as political, to just come and stage your agenda and let the people be the decision makers as to whatever you want to stage. So,
how is Volta Power unique from these other stations in New York City?
Well, most radio stations that I'm aware of are controlled in the sense of, the political agenda. Volta Power is not controlled by anyone. So we are not biased in what we report, and we don't kind of tweak our programming to be favorable to any group in Ghana, as most stations in Ghana, all stations in Ghana actually do. So if you're a Ghanaian and you want to hear the unbiased account of anything, Volta Power will be the place to start.
Do you have any special guests that you invite to the studio?
It's the first stop to all artists who come down to New York. If they come to America, Volta Power will be the first place they will stop by, because actually radio stations in Ghana actually tune into Volta Power FM.
So do you give these people special invitation, or, how do you get these people?
Well, they know Volta Power FM, so anytime they're in town, whoever is promoting an artist, say if someone were promoting an artist, the artist, it would be whoever is promoting's responsibility to talk to the artist about where would be the first place to go to talk about what they're in town to do. It's a great advertising a platform for artists. So they come, trust me, they come, they call us every time, and we showcase them on the station.
Have you ever hosted any events?
Actually, I for the last 3 years, I haven't hosted anything. But I believe last Saturday I did. I did last Saturday for the first time, and it was by accident that happened, because the presenters who were supposed to be there that day had an emergency, family emergency, and but I had to go in to interview. I don't know if you know Solfege, Afropolitan, with a gentleman, a Ghanaian artist by the name of DNA, Derek Ashang. He was on Oprah. He had a couple of hits on YouTube. And he came to the studio with his partner. We had a great show last Saturday.
So what are the Ghanaian community saying about this station? Are they pleased?
Well, big things. I mean, people are happy. People are happy. People wanted to elevate to a whole different level. But again, the intention was not to make it, so to speak, a business entity. So we kind of, at this point, considering options to see what might work out for us to. They happen to want more of Volta Power FM. We just have gotten to a point where we need to make some major decisions as to what our strategy is going to be able to service the Ghanaian population more.
Is it just Ghanaians that listen to your station, or other nationality as well?
We have Jamaicans. We play a lot of diverse West Indian music. We play old school. So I have friends who are African Americans who enjoy listening to music, and anybody else for that matter who wants to enjoy Ghanaian music. It's a place to go that you know you're not going to get disappointed. So you don't have to be Ghanaian per se. What determines who our listeners and their subscribers is based on what they expect, their expectation of what is from Ghana. It could be just programs. It could be musical shows, or who we're interviewing. And we have featured groups who are not Ghanaian. on Volta Power FM. So,
Mr. Koranteng, what advice would you give to someone who would like to start a radio station as you did?
get it done. Do your homework. I mean, I'm anal about making sure you do your homework before you start a project. I know everybody talks about, hey, if you love it enough, go ahead and do it. But after you figure out that you love it enough, do your homework so that you know exactly what to expect and plan towards that. So there are no unreasonable expectations, which usually get people to be feel very negative about something they love because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. So my first advice is, once you figure out that this is something you love to do your homework, talk to people who are in the business, and make sure that everything is on paper and get started. And do it. And also realize that if it's something you're going to do that most people are not doing, then there's a reason why most people are not doing it. So this idea that I know for a fact people have about expectations when it comes to business, it's flawed. You know, people need to have a very reasonable expectation of what is to come their way when they start a business. Okay. And to understand and accept the fact that when you hit hard times, it's perfectly okay. It's part of the process. You just stick by what you're doing, and that's why you need to do your homework. Because if you know exactly what you're doing, then regardless of what hardships come your way, you will continue to do it till you realize your goal. So that's my advice.
How can our viewers find Volta Power FM, and how may we contact you?
You could contact me by my phone number. That's very easy to get. And if you want to tune into Volta Power FM, it's www.voltapowerfm.com. So if you would tune in right now, the show it's on, and yeah, why not tune into Volta Power FM, www.voltapowerfm.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.